Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is course EE212. Until this point we have covered different type of resonance circuits, and before that we have talked about the Bode plot, and now in this particular lecture we are going to relate the resonance and the Bode plot, and after that in the second portion of the lecture we are going to define scaling, a different type of scaling for the electrical circuits. So starting from the resonance and Bode plot relationship, I will just assume a RLC circuit that is a series combination of resistor, inductor and capacitor. So we have a resistor, inductor and capacitor, and now if I have to find the admittance Yj omega at these 2 points, I can write it Yj omega is actually equal to 1 over R plus j omega L minus 1 over omega C. This is your impedance of the circuit, and the inverse of the impedance is admittance. So this is your admittance. So now if I have to solve this particular transfer function, after simplifying I will get y is equal to j omega C over j omega square LC plus j omega RC plus 1. So this is your admittance transfer function. So now if you look closely at this transfer function, we have one term in the numerator. So the term in the numerator, that is known as 0, and then there is one polynomial in the denominator, that is known as pole. So this is a quadratic pole because the degree of the polynomial is 2. So this is a quadratic pole. So now if I have to write the standard form of the quadratic pole, so that I defined in the course that I have covered before the midterms. So it was j omega over omega naught square plus 2 zeta over omega naught j omega plus 1. So this was the standard form of quadratic pole. So now if I'll compare the denominator of the transfer function with the standard form, and by comparing these two terms, I can write it j omega square LC from the first equation is actually equal to j omega over omega naught square. So this is from the second equation. So if I will solve this equation, that will be LC is equal to 1 over omega naught square, and from here I'll get omega naught is equal to 1 over under root LC, which is the resonant frequency. So now if I will compare the second term, which is j omega RC and 2 zeta omega naught into j omega, so by comparing these two terms, 2 zeta over omega naught is actually equal to RC. By comparing these two terms, 1 over 2 RC over under root LC. So this is the value of zeta that you will get by comparing the term j omega RC over j omega RC and 2 zeta over omega naught j omega. You will get the value of zeta. Now you remember that for the series resonance circuit, the quality factor, it is actually equal to 1 over R under root L over C. So now if you will use this quality factor in the zeta equation, you will get the value Q is equal to, quality factor is actually equal to 1 over 2 zeta. So now if I have to draw the magnitude plot of the quadratic pole, so it will be 0 before omega naught, and after omega naught it will be decaying at minus 40 dB per decade. There are actually two asymptotes. The first one is horizontal with the frequency axis, and the second asymptote was actually has a slope of minus 40 dB per decade, and it was crossing the frequency axis at omega naught. So we have two asymptotes which are crossing each other at omega naught, but at omega naught we have a overshoot which was dependent on the value of zeta, and this zeta is damping ratio. So if the value of zeta is small, so the overshoot will be large. So this curve zeta is a small value, and for this curve zeta is a large value. So if the damping ratio is large, the curve is more flat, and if the damping ratio is a smaller value, then the overshoot in the curve is a larger value. And from the equation A, we know that if zeta is a smaller value, then the quality factor is larger value, right? And what does quality factor actually defines? It actually defines the sharpness of the curve. And in this curve, for example, this is curve A and this is curve B. So in curve A, the sharpness is greater than the sharpness of curve B, so the quality factor of curve A is larger than the quality factor of curve B. So from equation A, we can relate the damping ratio and the quality factor, and we can see that they are inversely proportional to each other. And I have also explained it with the graph, and that says that if the damping ratio is a smaller value, then the overshoot will be a larger value and the quality factor will be a larger value, and the steepness of the curve is actually increased in comparison to the curve B, whose damping ratio is a large value, and as the damping ratio is a larger value, the overshoot will be smaller in comparison to the curve A, and the quality factor for this curve B will be a smaller value. So just to revise how to draw the Bode plots, I know that the admittance transfer function that I derived in the start of the lecture, it was j omega c over j omega square lc plus j omega rc plus 1. So now if I have to write it in standard form, so that will be y j omega, it is actually equal to j omega over 1 by c over j omega over 1 by under root lc square plus j omega rc plus 1. So now the numerator there is a 0, that in the denominator we have a pole which is a quadratic one. So now if I have to draw the Bode plot, the magnitude graph of the Bode plot, so we have two omega naughts. One is at, for example, 1 by c, and the other one is at 1 by under root lc. So if you remember, for the zeros that are passing through a region, they have a slope of 20 dB per decade, and for the poles, and specifically for the quadratic poles, they are 0 before omega naught. So till this point we have one asymptote which is actually 0, and after omega naught, when omega naught is 1 over under root lc, it will start decaying at minus 40 dB per decade. So now we have two different magnitude plots, one for the 0 and one for the quadratic pole. So now if I have to draw the composite, so that will be before the value of 1 by under root LC, the quadratic pole value is 0, so the curve will be following the 0 at origin. So the curve will be same as the 0 at origin, because if we will sum these two individual curves, this value is 0, so this will be the same curve as the 0 at origin. But after the value of 1 over under root LC, now the slope will be 20 dB minus 40 dB, that will be equal to minus 20 dB. So after that 1 over under root LC, the composite graph, that will also start decaying, but at the slope of minus 20 dB per decade. So this was just a brief revision of how to draw the Bode plot. First you have to draw the individual curves or individual graphs for each of the components, like for 0 and for pole, and after that you just have to add all the individual graphs. That will give you the composite or the magnitude graph of the whole transfer function. So this was the first part of the lecture. The second topic of today's lecture is scaling. So there are two types of scaling. The first one is magnitude scaling. Scaling of the circuits, and the second one is frequency scaling. So magnitude scaling, it is also known as impedance scaling. So firstly I will be talking about the magnitude scaling. I will just write it down here, magnitude scaling. So normally whenever we are designing or analyzing some circuit, whether it is a filter or resonance circuit, we usually try to work with the circuit element values for the resistance, capacitance and inductance, which are convenient to work with. So we design a circuit for some specific values of the circuit elements, and after that we scale them for the realistic values, and this is where the magnitude scaling comes in. In magnitude scaling, actually what we are doing, we are just converting the resistor, capacitor and inductor values in terms of, for resistor usually it is converted in the form of mega ohms, and for capacitors we take the values in picofarads, and inductors we have the unit of nanohenry. So if I just have to define the, for example, the impedance, actually it is equal to Z is equal to R plus J omega L minus 1 over omega C. So now if I have to scale it, what I will do, I will just multiply it with a constant. So if I am multiplying it with a constant, so it is multiplied with each of the element as well. So KMR plus J omega KML minus Km over omega C, and this is the impedance value after the scaling is done, right? So after scaling, this is your new resistance value, this is your new inductance value, and the capacitance value C dash, it is actually equal to C over Km. So what we have done, we have just multiplied the impedance with a constant value, and when the constant is being applied, it is just multiplied with the resistor, inductor, and in case of capacitance it is divided in the capacitance case. So the new resistance, inductance and capacitance values after the scaling are R dash, L dash and C dash. I will write it down here as well. R dash is actually the constant value into the resistance value that was before the scaling, and the inductance value is Km into the inductance value before the scaling, and for the capacitance value before the scaling divided by the scaling factor. So in magnitude scaling, the frequency response is actually not affected. And by this statement we means that if we are just doing the magnitude scaling, the value of omega naught, the quality factor, and the bandwidth of the resonant circuit, they are actually not being affected. And now to verify this statement, I will start from omega naught, and if I have to find the new omega naught, that is equal to 1 over under root L dash C dash, and this dash defines the inductance and the capacitance value after the scaling is done. So the value of inductance is KML and the capacitance value is C by Km. So if I'll write it down here, 1 over under root KML into C over Km. So these constant values will cancel out and it will be 1 over under root LC, that is the resonant frequency before the scaling is done. Now for the quality factor, for the new quality factor after the scaling, we have omega naught dash L dash over R. So this is the resonant frequency after the scaling and the inductance value after the scaling. So the omega naught will remain the same, omega naught, and this resistance is also the scaled resistance. So omega naught after the scaling is done is same as before the scaling. So omega naught dash is replaced by omega naught, and the inductance value after the scaling is L into Km, and the resistance value is Km into R. So this will cancel out, it will become omega naught L over R, which is the same quality factor before the scaling is done. So there is no effect of magnitude scaling over the quality factor as well as over the resonant frequency. Now for the bandwidth, if you remember the formula, that is omega naught dash over Q dash, and omega naught from this equation is same omega naught, and for the quality factor it is also same as before the scaling is done. So the bandwidth is also unchanged. So from the statement, the magnitude scaling actually does not have any impact on the frequency response of the RLC circuit. So this was the magnitude scaling or the impedance scaling. The second type of scaling is frequency scaling. So by definition, frequency scaling is the process of shifting the frequency response of a network up or down of a frequency axis. And by this I mean that what we are doing, we are just translating the frequencies like resonant frequency, corner frequency, bandwidth, etc. to a realistic value. And in frequency scaling, magnitude of the impedance components remain the same. So it means that the impedance magnitude does not change. From the impedance value, we know that R plus J omega L minus 1 over omega C. So this is your impedance. There are only two quantities. One is inductive reactance and the other one is capacitive reactance. So these are dependent on the frequency values. But in case of resistance, it is not dependent on frequency. So resistance will remain same, as the new resistance value will be same as before the frequency scaling is done. But in case of inductive reactance and capacitive reactance, the magnitude should remain same. We know that J omega 1 L is equal to J omega 1 dash L dash. So this is actually the inductive reactance after the scaling is done, and this is the inductive reactance before the scaling is done. So now if I have to do the frequency scaling, so the new frequency omega 1 dash is actually just the multiplication of a constant with the previous frequency value. So now if I will put this new frequency value in the above equation, that will give you j omega 1 L is actually equal to j kf, which is a constant with which the frequency is being multiplied, omega 1 L dash. So this will cancel out and the value of new inductance will be L over kf. So this is the value of inductance after the frequency scaling is done. Similarly, you can also find the value of capacitance, and after solving I will get the capacitance value is C over kf, which is a constant value. So this is the new capacitance value after the frequency scaling is done. Now, like we have done for the magnitude scaling, we will now find the resonant frequency, quality factor and bandwidth. So for resonant frequency, we know that the new value of resonant frequency will be 1 over under root new inductance value and new capacitance value, and the values of inductance and capacitance we know from these two equations. So that will be L over kf into C over kf, and this is the kf square and it will come out of the square root and will go in the numerator, and that will become kf over under root LC, and further simplification shows that kf into omega naught, which was the resonant frequency before the frequency scaling was done. So the new resonant frequency is actually just the multiplication of the constant with the previous resonant frequency. Now for the quality factor, again using the same formula, Q dash is equal to omega naught dash L dash over R, new frequency, resonant frequency, new inductance value, and the resistance actually remains the same, so I'm just putting the same resistance value. So kf omega naught, so I have proved it here, kf omega naught into L over kf, these two will cancel out and the formula will become omega naught L over R, which is the quality factor before the frequency scaling is done. Now lastly, for the bandwidth, so it is actually equal to omega naught over Q, and for the new bandwidth value we are taking the new resonant frequency and new quality factor. So the new resonant frequency is kf times omega naught, which was the previous resonant frequency, divided by the quality factor. So this is the previous bandwidth. So the new bandwidth after the frequency scaling is actually equal to kf times the previous bandwidth. After the frequency scaling, the new resonant frequency is actually the kf times the omega naught. Kf is the scaling factor and omega naught is actually the previous resonant frequency. The quality factor, it actually does not change. The quality factor remains the same for the frequency scaling as well as in the magnitude scaling, and for the bandwidth, it is again the scaling factor times the previous bandwidth of the circuit before the frequency scaling is done. So this was the second topic of today's lecture. Now to just do a simple example, we are given with a circuit and the parameters of the circuit, RLC circuit, are resistance is equal to 10 ohm, inductance is equal to 1 Henry, and the capacitance is equal to 2 Farad. So now we have to find the circuit element values. After the magnitude scaling and the frequency scaling is done. So first we have to do the magnitude scaling, in which case the magnitude scaling constant is actually Km equal to 100, and then we have to do the frequency scaling, and the constant for frequency scaling is actually 100 as well. So now we already know the resistance, inductance and capacitance value. And for the magnitude scaling, the new resistance value, it is actually equal to the scaling factor into the previous resistance value, which was 100 into 2 is equal to 200 ohm. For the inductance value, it is again the scaling factor into the previous inductance value, which is 100 into 1 is equal to 100 Henry. As for the capacitance, it is capacitance divided by the scaling factor, which is 0.5 divided by 100, and that will be 5 millifarad. Now after the magnitude scaling is done, now we have to do the frequency scaling. So we already know the formulas. Again, the resistance does not change, so I will show it by double dash because R dash is the magnitude scaling. Now if I have to do the scaling over the magnitude scaled circuit, then R double dash is actually equal to R dash is equal to 200 ohm. Then the inductance value, it is actually L dash over KF. So the L dash value, which is the magnitude scaled inductance value, is 100 divided by KF value is 100 is equal to 1 Henry. And for the capacitance value, again C dash divided by KF is equal to 5 millifarad divided by 100. It is actually equal to 0.5 microfarad. So this was the simple example in which we were just magnitude scaling and frequency scaling the elements of the RLC circuit, in which we were given with resistance, inductance and capacitance, and the constant values for the magnitude scaling and the frequency scaling were given. We have proved that in the magnitude scaling, the resistance, inductance value, they are just multiplied by the coefficient of magnitude scaling, and in case of capacitance, it is divided by Km. In frequency scaling, the resistance remains the same because it does not have any frequency component, so it will not change. But in inductance and capacitance, the inductance value and the capacitance value of the previous circuit is divided by the constant of frequency scaling. So this was a simple example. So in this lecture, we started from the resonance and Bode plot. We derived the transfer function for the admittance, and from there we compared it with the standard form of quadratic pole and derived the formula for the quality factor, which was inversely proportional to the damping ratio. Damping ratio actually defines the amount of overshoot at omega naught for the quadratic poles, and if the damping ratio value is small, then the quality factor is actually large because they are inversely proportional. The quality factor actually defines the sharpness of the curve. In case A, the sharpness is more than the graph of case B, so the quality factor in case B is smaller and the damping ratio is larger. After that, we plot the admittance transfer function, and we have drawn the magnitude plot of the admittance transfer function. Later we started the scaling. We studied two different types of scalings, magnitude scaling and the frequency scaling. Magnitude scaling is usually done to change the values of resistance, capacitance and inductors, and to do that we just multiply the values of impedance with a constant value. Then we have proven that the magnitude scaling does not have any impact on the frequency response. We derive the formulas for omega naught, quality factor and bandwidth for the circuit which is scaled using the magnitude constant, and we have found that omega naught dash is actually equal to the resonant frequency before the scaling is done, and the quality factor and bandwidth also doesn't change. Then we have done the frequency scaling, in which we find out that the resistance actually remains the same. It does not have any frequency component, frequency value. So if you are doing the frequency scaling, then resistance is not impacted by that. Later we have found the new inductance and capacitance value, and the previous inductance and capacitance value is actually divided by the constant Kf. And later for the resonant frequency, quality factor, and bandwidth. Found out that the resonant frequency actually is just multiplied by the constant, the quality factor remains the same, and the bandwidth is actually also multiplied by the constant value for the frequency scaling. Lastly, we have done an example, and this was today's lecture. That's all for today, and see you in the next lecture. Thank you.